Hello, and welcome back. My name is Jack Blade, and today we're playing Satisfactory, and this is tips and tricks video. So what are the tips and or tricks that we're going through today? And specifically, we're going to be looking at how to avoid burnout in this game, either on the world that you're playing in or with the game itself. And I know that this is a very common thing, not just for this game, any game that uses creative energy. And if you think that just placing a bunch of conveyor belts don't use creative energy, you're tricking yourself. You most definitely use a lot of energy to figure all of this stuff out, and I'm here to help. And I hope that these tricks help. They've come from people I've played with, they come from my experience with a lot of hardcore MMOs, they come from my experience with Satisfactory and getting burnt out in this game too, back in the day. So let's get into it. As you can see, there is a lot going on in this world already. This world has already gotten like 30 hours, something, a little bit more. And it's very easy to get fixated on that number. Oh, I played 500 hours here, or oh, I played 600 hours here. Tip number one is stop fixating on time. You don't have a time limit to finish this game. You don't have a time limit to reach certain milestones. You like no one is gonna like come barreling down on you going like, hey, you're not reaching your deadlines, so blah blah blah. As much as the meme for the game is that you're a fixed employee with no human rights, there is no actual time limit, there's no actual rush. So slow down, take a deep breath, and fixing that super grindy project might not be in the cards for you today. Maybe just grab your scanner and go look for slugs for 2-3 hours. It's as easy as that. You don't have to rush. You don't have to push yourself to constantly go for the next phase or the next thing in the MAM or the next thing in the hub or anything like that. Just do what actually makes you happy and what you enjoy in the game. Tip number two is don't rush things. Specifically, if you compare to tip number one, we're talking about if your final factory looks like this, it's still looking like your first factory. And if you want to spend 1,000 hours in a save or more, my tip is make it a place you would want to spend 1,000 hours in. And if everything looks like this, I mean, it's not like that might be a personal style choice, but for me, this doesn't look good enough that I would want to go here and just look at it and be in this environment. While I'm very proud of what I've done, it was the best to do with the tools and everything that was unlocked. If you've unlocked everything in the Awesome Shop and everything in the MAM and everything in the hub, you have all the tiers, you have all the stuff, it's done. And you're not challenging yourself with the visual design and everything in your world, you're kind of missing out on a massive aspect of the game. Because it's not just about making things work smoothly, it's about making them look good so that your brain gets that like visual ASMR experience being here. Otherwise, what's the point? So go from this and start working on something a little bit different. Challenge yourself. And if people, once again, are saying, no, I don't want to build with circles, you don't have to, right? I'm not talking about building with circles. I'm talking about challenging yourself architecturally, visually, and put effort into more than just making belts go round, and you will be more proud of the world. It will be more aesthetically pleasing. You don't have to use the statement, it's a piece of shit, but it works. That will make the world more enjoyable to you. The same kind of thing is said for the logistics. Don't spaghetti it up. Like if we go down here and look at this world, you saw me, if you saw the first episode of the series, you saw that I put in a logistics floor here specifically to show you the contrast with what if happens if you don't. I chose to spend the effort and time to clean up the look down here so that I could show what happens if you don't. This is what happens if you don't have a logistics floor. Inevitably, spend the time to actually work on your logistics, make it feel good, not just go, now I have the numbers, I am happy. You're gonna be happy for 5 minutes, but the next time you go back, you're like, yeah, I don't like this area. It doesn't look good, so I'm not gonna come back here. And after a while, that turns out to be your entire world. So you start a new save. And then it might just be that the thought of starting a new save, hey, I spent 1200 hours in my first save. I am so bored. I don't want to start over. So you just stop playing. That's a big risk. So to avoid that, go into your world and work on your visuals. Don't be afraid to tear things down. Don't rush towards like, oh, I gotta get to coal power. Why? I spent like 3.5 hours building up this system, right? And I didn't need more. I just, when I was out exploring, put in the wood, put in the remains and everything, and it just took care of all the power. You can already see that if you look here, I had plenty of energy left in this world to run for another 5-6 hours before I needed to refill it after 3.5 hours worth of work, and this is 45 biomass burners. Just spend the time, spend the effort to make the world you live in an enjoyable place. If you don't, you're gonna leave it. So really work on it. You will be happier for it. The world will last longer. And just do what you enjoy in that world. Don't go, oh, I would fix this, but it takes too long. If it takes too long, look at tip number 1. You have no time limits. The taking too long thing, that's an illusion. I don't understand why that even comes up for you. If it takes too long, admit that you don't want to do it, or that you have fallen under the, oh no, I need to finish this as fast as possible trap. In which case, get out of it. Okay? Let's move on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to be silly, have fun, play around. It's very, very important that when you play a game, that you play a game. It's very easy to fall into, oh no, I gotta do this. I gotta be effective. I gotta be optimized. I gotta be whatever it is. If you don't take the time, like I did, to go find a bunch of lizard doggos, you wouldn't find out that, hey, you can get a bunch of really valuable stuff from your lizard doggos. Now, screws isn't necessarily, like, valuable, but fused modular frames are, right? Like, I have found some pretty good stuff just messing around with doggos. So don't stop yourself from enjoying the world. Okay? Play. Set up a parkour route with just these. Just the power lines, using zip lines and stuff like that. Just drive around and see what happens. Start exploring the world. Do something that takes you away from this. Because if you're playing this game as your main game, this is where you spend most of your time, you need to have ways, even within this game, to recover energy, to rest. And if placing a bunch of belts is draining you, you feel like there's a resistance in your body, in your mind, to starting something or finishing something, you're on your way to a burnout. And stop doing that. Go do something else. Actually, at that point, go play a different game. Do something that recovers your energy. Okay? And then come back. Give yourself a week. 2 days. Give yourself something else to do in the game that is enjoyable. And then come back. To move on from there, tip number 4. Tip number 4 is to not try and achieve what the content creators you are watching achieves. Especially not the ones that are playing this full time. I am not doing this full time. I may be between jobs, but looking for jobs is a job. For those who've gone through the process, you know. And if you sit down and think that you will achieve what I'm Kibitz or Popcac or any of the like Total Eclipse or whoever it is, if you try to achieve what they do with the scale and the volumes and the time spent in a game, stop doing that. Comparison. Like, I think, what is the proverb? Comparison is the thief of joy. That is really, really good. Like, it's a really good statement. Stop comparing yourself to the content creators. You should definitely watch them and like and subscribe. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, being inspired by someone doesn't mean achieve what they achieve. Because someone like me, someone like Total Eclipse, or Fluxo, or Bits, or I'm Kibitz, like whoever you're watching, they are spending, like, look at it like this. For each episode that I put out in the Ultimate Let's Play series, there is between 10 and 15 in-game hours of progress per episode. I release 2 episodes per week. That means I am putting in somewhere between 20 and 30 hours of gameplay per week, right? That is close to a full-time job. Plus, I have to edit on top of that. And it's between 5 and 6 hours of editing between each episode. And then I have this video. This is a 1 hour to 2 hour recording, and then it's a 3-hour editing session. Like, try to put that time into a game, and you're going to start noticing that you're not taking care of yourself. If you have a full-time job, if you have a family, if you have friends, if you have all that kind of stuff, and they aren't geared towards this, you will be neglecting your social commitments, you will be neglecting your work commitments, you will be neglecting your hygiene, you will be neglecting yourself. And if you don't take care of yourself, it's not just this game you won't enjoy, you will get depressed, you will lose enjoyment for anything else as well. You will just be stuck in a depressive loop. So, take care of yourself. Don't try to commit the same amount of time and effort and achieve the same kinds of things that the content creators are. Be inspired, yes, but don't try to achieve the same scale that they are. At least not in the same time frame. What they achieve in 2-3 weeks, try to achieve that in 2-3 months instead, okay? Take care of yourself. Love you guys, so don't kill yourself trying to reach the heavens when you could if you had time, but you don't. Okay? With that, we're moving on to the final and the bonus tip. Final tip, and this is a bonus tip. And I'm not talking about me, I'm not talking about any one specific community, but having friends around you that can inspire you and help you and support you and give you that social energy when it comes to the game, making it about so much more than the game. That is so important. So find a Discord for some YouTuber, go to the Satisfactory Discord, go to my Discord if you want to, join a community, commit yourself socially, and that will help you have energy for the game. I will honestly say that if I have troubles with coming up with ideas for videos or finding the energy to sit down and make a video or whatever, I go chat with the people in my Discord, or I go to the official Satisfactory Discord and I read through that. to see what people are talking about and everything. It gives so much energy to interact with others. And optimally, in the far, like, stretches of everything, play with others. Play Satisfactory with others. Play other games with them. Help each other. Don't try to solo life. We're not built for it. We're social animals. Okay? With all that said, I have given you 4+1 tips here. And I hope that they will help you enjoy the game more. Just remember, take your time. You don't have a time limit. It's so important that at the end of everything, you just like playing the game. You should have fun. You should enjoy yourself. And if you ultimately don't, take a break. It's okay. Give yourself a month, 2 months, a year if you need to. Come back to the game when you recharge. That said, love you guys. Love all the support. We hit 800 subscribers. I am so happy and I'm so proud of my community and the community on YouTube just kicking the crap out of any expectations that I could possibly have. I don't expect any support. I don't expect any traffic. I don't expect anything, yet you guys just show up. And like I have like I don't know if you want to call it like imposter syndrome, but the numbers that are showing up, just it feels like I'm looking at someone else's channel, not mine. And I'm really happy for it. With that said, thank you so much. We are heading for that 1,000 subscriber mark. If we continue at this pace, we will hit it in about 4 weeks. Maybe a little bit more. But please do your best to really kick ass with that subscribe button, because I want to optimally, for the meme of it all, try and hit the subscription goal like 1,000 by the time it's my 34th birthday, which is in literally a month. My birthday is on October 24th, so my like unreasonable request, if you will, it's a little bit selfish, is to try and reach that 1,000 subscriber mark by then. So please, if you have it in you, leave a subscription. And I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.